Good morning, traders. Welcome to the live trading room. I hope you all had a great weekend. The crypto holders should be very chuffed with the current bounce that we're seeing in the Twitter market. It's interesting how the tone has changed to the holders or those who are interested in the crypto space, because some just claim that they are holding while they actually don't have any positions. But the tone in the Twitter space, and just looking at our Twitter profile here, let's just have a look here. Everybody is so positive about the market. Everybody is talking about only the positive news about Twitter. So here is Elon Musk. We know that Elon Musk is a big supporter of Dogecoin. So a lot of the crash from Bitcoin was attributed to him sort of dumping, I don't know if that is the right word, saying that Bitcoin consumes a lot of energy for mining and hence they will not be accepting it at Tesla. Now he has changed the tone, saying that they would actually accept Bitcoin. Now, some of the biggest news, now we're just talking about the fundamentals in general, is that Amazon is going to start accepting Bitcoin as a method of payment, and soon Ethereum will follow. Now, this is everybody now talking about different altcoins. Now, this is the Dogecoin. Now, if Dogecoin hits $10, obviously these are people that are probably holding positions and are hoping that it gets to that level. And if it does get to that level, they should possibly be making a lot of money. Right, so everybody is talking about Bitcoin, not just, so you can see 38,000, we've hit 39,000 this morning, very close to 40,000. So this is Tyler Winklevoss, one of the Bitcoin millionaires. There's the Wilkington brothers. What is he saying? It pays to hodl. Somebody please educate me. Why do people on Twitter or on social media say hodl instead of hold? Is there some sort of a code, or they're trying to prevent Twitter from noticing what they're trying to say there? Somebody please educate me there who's familiar with these terms. I am old school. Right, so now others are talking about ADA. Some saying that ADA will be obviously ADA, we know that it is the 5th best performing cryptocurrency right now. ADA, I think most of you know that it is my favorite crypto, and I'm obviously looking at it at a technical point of view. It is one of the good cryptocurrencies to hold along with Binance. I like Binance a lot. Okay, so that is just the tone within the Twitter space. Everybody is talking about that. Somebody even went as far as, if Bitcoin breaks the 35,000 level, it will see 72,000 this week. That is obviously not possible, but we will look at the technicals shortly. So the tone now is pretty positive compared to about 9 weeks ago when we had the so-called crash. Is it really a crash that we saw, or was it just the correction? So let's have a look at the market and or how the market is looking now. All right, so very interesting what we're seeing there in the crypto space, but let's have a look at the technicals. So Ompemez is educating me. He says hold is for hold on for dear life. Okay, all right, thank you for that. Okay, thank you for that. I thought it was some sort of a code, because I know people use codes on Twitter to so that Twitter does not notice whatever they're saying. Some saying when they were talking about, let me just come back. So when they're talking about sources that they got, obviously the sources, referring to the sources of the information, some use this spelling. Now there's so many things that you find on Twitter. Instead of the correct word, which will be sources, I do not know why they use this one. Okay, so if you're saying hold on for dear life, makes a lot of sense, because as I've said last week, when I analyze the cryptocurrencies, I try my best. I have to try my best, because I've got a big portfolio of cryptocurrencies for years. So I know. So usually when that happens, I don't even look at my portfolio. Okay, I don't even look at my crypto portfolio, because if you start looking at it, you'd want to close your positions, because you'll see, I mean, if you just look at Bitcoin, for example, if we look at where we went from, let's go to Bitcoin. We were at 64,000, for heaven's sake, 64,000 all the way down to 29,000. That is more than 50% drop. Imagine you've got an investment that you've been holding for years and it drops over 50%. Okay. How do you know that that is going to bounce? I mean, you find that that does not bounce in just a single day, in a year. Sometimes it takes years, if it does bounce. Obviously, one of the biggest returns on investments will be people who are trading the indexes, especially the S&P 500. It has been on a bull run for decades. Okay, so let's go to the cryptocurrencies. Let's start with the cryptocurrencies and see what we're seeing there. Okay, so this is Bitcoin. So our forecast on Bitcoin was simply to just get this flat correction. So we have reached the 38,000 that we spoke about yesterday, but it went up in a straight line. Now, structurally, we cannot have this 1, 2, 3, and this one being a 1, 2, 3, and this being a 5-wave structure if we are not looking at this as a flat. Can we still look at this as a flat? This does not look like a flat. It looks more like a zigzag, because if you look at this, this has now broken above this, and this one has not checked the low. Let's just have a look at this technically and in terms of the rules and the guidelines. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Let's get the retracement tool here. So if you look at the current retracement from the leg that we had here, let's have a look here. We want to see how far this retraced. The other way around. So from the start of this move to the end here, we want to see if this touched the 90%. This has actually touched the 90%. So we would have accepted these as a flat if it was only around this level. Can we still accept it if it got to this level and reversed? As far as this is concerned, the flat here, rather the regular flat, you can make a case for a flat correction, because the only guideline you have is that it ends around the start of a wave A. That is the wave C, if this is a wave C. So let's see how this one goes. So for now, we've reached our target on, as far as Bitcoin is concerned. We are bullish, and if you look at the indicators, they're all high. So we just want to see here if we're gonna get a reset. A reset will mean a pullback. And if we're getting that pullback, we're already way above 50. So we should see this one coming back down here and continue to push to the upside. Let's have a look at the daily and look at the structure on the website as well. Let's have a look at the daily. We'll look at the structure on the website shortly. So if you look at the daily, we have been seeing that divergence. It has been long coming, and we have been looking at this to be a first corrective structure after we've made these 5 waves. That's all we've been looking for. So we've been looking for this. If it's going to start coming down here correctively and we get another corrective structure, this is what we're looking for. I was still going to see more downside. So let's see what we get from this. That is what we've been looking at. And let's have a look at now the structure on the website. Just so you can see what our view is on Bitcoin. So just to label that, so that is the move to the downside, that is a W, that is a X, that is a Y. But this X is not in play yet, and we don't know which structure we're going to have here as an X as yet, but we're looking for a double correction to at least get back to the 50% of this original move. Where are we currently with that move? Let's just check here. So that was a 38 to check the flat. While the page is loading there, let's just see how far we are in terms of retracement here. We are not even on the 38% yet. So The deeper it is, the less the move to the downside, if it's going to give us a structure like this. Okay, so let's see here on the structure that we have. So let's have a look here. Mikhail says he closed half of the position and let the other half run. Should I take profits? Which way? Are you holding Bitcoin? If you're trading short term on Bitcoin, I would advise you take some profits. But as far as the indicator is concerned, you just don't want to be greedy. We are still seeing more upside. Let's have a look here on the daily structure. So on the daily, this is what we're looking for. This is why Bitcoin is pushing to the upside. Okay, so this was the 18th of July. So this is why we're looking for Bitcoin to push to the upside. We've got the red degree here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got the red 3 waves here. That's what we are looking at. We are looking to get to as far as 50% or even 61%. Right, so if you look at this structure, I want you to be mindful of this. You can see that this is the chart. We cannot write alternatives here. Even though alternatives do not change the bias, if we put in here as a 3-wave structure, there's nothing that stops this from coming down in 3 waves and bouncing back again and making a flat. That structure will still be exactly the same. So we just do not put in more than one alternative there. It does not change the bias. It just means that the corrective structure may take a different path. So that's what we're looking at on the daily. Let's go down to the 4-hour. So the 4-hour. And also just mind that this is pretty small compared to the whole structure that we're looking at. We just don't want to make this just a single line as big as this, that otherwise it will just take up space. So this structure, just mind that this W, this is the W here. The W is the 3 waves, so it is this size. So that X should be similar in size as that. Okay, so that X should be similar in size as that. So let's see how this one will go. So we are here as far as this is concerned. Our Y at 40,000 has completed. If we're going to get a pullback, that's fine. If it's going to continue to the upside, that just means that the structure would have changed. But if you got a trade here at the bottom and you took somebody like Mikhail was asking whether you should take profits, I believe this could still go much higher. But if you've taken a position here and your target was here, I'd advise that you take your profits. If you're going to get a pullback here again, that is if you're trading short term, if you're going to get a pullback here, then there will be another opportunity for a trade, for continuation to the upside. But I'm expecting an even bigger structure here if it's going to be a W there. So that's what we have on Bitcoin. We are in this corrective structure. That's why we're looking for more upside. Okay. So last week we were here. We expected this to come down here to even take the low here before bouncing up here. Okay, so that is Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the rest. Ethereum. Ethereum, similarly, this is already updated over the weekend. So last week with Ethereum, we looked for this to bounce back to around these levels. We are already around 23,000 currently on Ethereum. So this can actually make a flat. This is a structural level. As much as this can push to the upside, this is a target here at 2,500. I believe looking at the indicators, we are still going to see more upside to around that levels. Okay, so for a trade, I would advise that you take your profits at current levels. That is a structural level. Better to get something out than to give it back to the market. That was Ethereum. Look for continuation to the upside. Let's just have a look here on Ethereum. There's still going to be a continuation to the upside, but as far as that structure is concerned, we are at structural level. So if I had taken a trade here, I didn't on Ethereum, I didn't take any new trade here. If I had taken a trade here, I would want to exit here. That is a structural level. If it's going to push to the upside, there is a possibility of this structure. So just watch this structure that you've got here, a 3-wave structure, and you've got this here. there is a possibility that this can push much higher to about 2,900. But you'll never know beforehand. So if you are in a trade, then this is what you want to, where you want to exit. Okay, at this level here, I would exit. Even if I miss the rest of the portion here, that's fine. Litecoin, let's have a look at Litecoin as well. Litecoin, very clear structure, similar to Ethereum. So Litecoin was here. The target from last week was just to get to the previous highs. We are already there. Again, be mindful, this structure could be bigger, much bigger than what we're forecasting here. Ripple, looking very interesting. Over the weekend, we are now pushing to the upside. We are currently at 0.64, 0.65 on Ripple. We look for this to take this or to even make that zigzag here. Again, the correction will be similar in size as this. Let's just have a look at it. This is Ripple. We still expect more upside. We're still expecting more upside as follows. All right. That is a Ripple. Dogecoin, we've traded to about 22.5 cents this morning. So the forecast is still to get to this level as far as Dogecoin is concerned. Some are even making a case that these are now the trendline traders, that this has now broken the resistance here and it will go up here. So remember, we don't look at just the trend lines, we look at structures. And here we are looking at this. It has to invalidate it. It has to invalidate this structural level if it's going to continue to the upside. And if it does continue to the upside, that means that this is all a correction on Doge and it's starting to make a move to the upside like that. So for now, to confirm that, this is the level that needs to be invalidated for more upside, but looking good for more upside. ADA, one of my favorites. Now ADA, I showed the structure yesterday. So we're expecting this to come here to around these levels to make this move here. Let me just show you the structure that I expected yesterday. This is a three-wave move to the downside. This is a pullback in 3. So we would expect another 3 to the downside, then that will complete the structure. So if this started here, so we can see here we had an impulsive move to the downside, we came back up here. So there was a spike down and a spike back here. That is a move there in purple. So we would expect this to complete, this to complete, this to come down. Then that structure would have completed. I could have used different colors here for the purple here, but that's fine. So let's get this here. So this will be W, X, Y corrective structure. We're currently coming here for the X. Will X be completing? That's what we're expecting, that the X completes here and make that three-wave structure here as follows. 1, 2, 3, the WXY in yellow, and you've got the ABC in purple. The B is the whole yellow degree, and then the C. Now you've got a bigger one here. That's why I was saying here I should have used a different color. You have the purple up. You have the white down. Let's the white down here, just to separate it. You had a spike down, it went back up, right? So then you've got this internally here, ABC, right? Let's fix this one up here. If you're not exactly following this, you can just pause the video and have a look at that. If you're watching live, you can just go back to the video and pause it and check it. This will complete here at the bottom. Now, after that, the prevailing move should continue after this big sideways corrective structure. So let's see what we get here on ADA. Talks of $5, $10 on ADA. That would be nice, wouldn't it? But that's the nature of the market. We do not trade by hope. We trade by what we see. We use risk management and make sure that we only invest what we can afford to lose. That is ADA, looking for more upside to at least just this level here. All right, so that's ADA. Let's go through the rest here. Binance, all the cryptocurrencies and the altcoins are obviously looking pretty bullish, but like we said, we are only looking for these. We are only looking for these structures to confirm, to complete, not to confirm, to complete. Only these structures to complete. As far as the structures are concerned, we are not looking. We have not confirmed any more upside. That is Binance. And let's have a look at Bitcoin Cash as well. So Bitcoin Cash, all those structures are about to complete. Only on the invalidation of these structures will we confirm that this is not going to continue to the downside. As it is, these structures are continuations to the downside. Okay, Link, let's have a look at Link. So Link also coming to this structural level, but there is no relationship between this and that as far as Link is concerned. This is the orthodox law here on Link. Okay, the orthodox law on Link is here. So we may see Link make a three-way structure and push much higher. So if Link is still pushing up higher, that means maybe all the corrective structure, all the cryptocurrencies are still pushing to the upside. But we prefer to look at Bitcoin as the leading currency. And if you look at the ratios now, let's have a look at the ratios. We'll look at the ratio between Bitcoin and the number of altcoins. Let's start here at the top. Where you see red, you see here we've got red. These are the ratios between Bitcoin, for example, Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Satoshi version. This means that Bitcoin is outperforming Satoshi version. It does not mean the BSV is going down. It just means that currently the move to the upside on Bitcoin is better than for most of the cryptocurrencies. And if you look at this structurally, Satoshi version could start to outperform Bitcoin when it reaches this level. So that means at this level, this one is gonna get better than Bitcoin in terms of performance. But at the moment, Bitcoin is the best performing currency, cryptocurrency, all of them. For all the cryptocurrencies that it's paired against, it's looking pretty bullish. Look at that, Binance versus Bitcoin. That's why you're seeing, but if you look at this, we are simply in a corrective structure. Okay, we're in a corrective structure. When this corrective structure completes, Binance is going to outperform Bitcoin. That's what that means. So for investment purposes, Bitcoin is not necessarily the best one to look at. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus Doge, for example. It may be outperforming Doge right now. Okay, Doge is outperforming, it's 1-for-1, but for the last couple of weeks, Bitcoin has been better than Doge, but you can all see clearly that this has been a corrective structure. And when this is done and Doge starts doing this, that's going to outperform Bitcoin. So that ratio, that's what that ratio tells us. Dogecoin is going to get better than Bitcoin in terms of return on investments and performance. Let's look at some more comparisons. XRP right now, Bitcoin is outperforming XRP. It's outperforming XRP, and when we start making a move to the upside, that means XRP is going to be better than Bitcoin. But Dogecoin is more promising than the other cryptocurrencies. Let's have a look at some examples here. Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash is actually no, it's just for today only. So Bitcoin Cash, if you look at that over the last couple of weeks since the crash, has been doing this. This does not mean that Bitcoin Cash is not going to go up. It just means that since the beginning of May, Bitcoin Cash has been outperformed by Bitcoin. So any move to the upside here will mean that Bitcoin Cash starts outperforming Bitcoin. As it is now, this does not look like it's just going to go up in a straight line. We're still going to see this one at least back to the 50% like that. So currently, this is what we have. Could be the structure 1, 2, 3. If this is it on Bitcoin Cash, the impulse move down, the correction here, and this is also looking like an impulse, and we start pushing up from here. That means we're going to start seeing Bitcoin Cash outperform Bitcoin. So for investment purposes, Bitcoin is not the best one to put your money on. I'd prefer to put my money on altcoins. So my portfolio is big on ADA and Doge, XRP, and a lot of Ethereum. Ethereum is going to perform much better than most cryptocurrencies. Even it is even supported fundamentally as well. Okay, so that's what we have on the cryptocurrencies. Looking good, at least a bounce for a change. It's been on a downtrend for a while. So let's see what we get in the next coming sessions. Right, so let's go back to the Forex pairs. DXY. DXY, we're just waiting for that drop. So we've been here for a while. Will this now be, will the source of this catalyst come with the, I think there is MPC on Wednesday. So maybe the fundamental news is what's going to get this to drop. So for now, we're just going to crawl here. On Wednesday, there is MPC fundamentals that could potentially give us this move that we're looking at. So likely with that, what could happen is we get a push to the upside, then we get a move, that three-way move that we're expecting, which could even be like that. Could even go continue to the upside, and that would have completed to the downside. That would have been a flat correction. So that is the analysis. Now there is nothing, there's not much of a movement that we're seeing here between these two. So let's see what the fundamentals are going to do to the market. Are they going to move it? Not that we're trading fundamentals, we just take advantage of the quick market moves that comes with that. So right now there is no volumes to move. So same as Euro US dollar, we can have this one pushing down here with the news and starting this to the upside. We'll have a look again on Monday. All right. That's what we're looking at. Let's move on to the other markets. Let's have a look at pound US dollar. Pound US dollar, we're looking for a corrective structure and continuation to the upside. Let's go look at the lower time frames. This one has bounced back, bounced from the blue box. Looks like it's setting up for more upside here on the 4-hour. So let's watch this structure here on pound US dollar. So that's what we're going to be looking at there. So let's be patient with this structure. We're looking for more upside. Nothing has changed. US dollar chief. Yesterday, as indicated, we're expecting this. Don't expect this to just drop like that. They'll push it up here like that before the drop, simply because we're looking at this structure here. US dollar CAD. We're still looking for this to drop as well. But again, wait for this to pull back here. It's only just going to drop like that. As we said with Audi yesterday, that if we look at this, so what I didn't mention yesterday during the weekly outlook is what I was seeing here on the indicators. This is the reason why I didn't expect this to continue pushing to the upside. And as much as we're seeing the bounce from the the blue box. If you look at the indicator, we're at the top, we're below 50. There was no way this was going to push to the upside. So that's why we expected this to pull back, possibly even back to the blue box. Will the Wednesday news push this to the upside? There should be some catalyst to push the market. Let's see what we're going to get then. Similarly, New Zealand, you can see here, as much as we had this, did not confirm upside. We are currently down here. If this is going to give us a corrective structure, we need to see a 4-hour candle closing above here. Only then can we start looking to buy. But as it is now, we're looking for this to continue lower. So not out of the woods yet. US dollar ZAR. So US dollar ZAR, as we mentioned, this is going to continue to the upside. Nothing has changed. We're still looking more upside here. No sign of reversal on US dollar ZAR as yet. Okay, now let's have a look here at the yen pes. The yen pes also made impulsive moves. Are we going to get corrective structures? So we can get this one resetting here. As long as this stays above 50, we'll see at least another move to the upside here. US dollar yen. So US dollar yen has made an impulsive move to the upside. We're getting a pullback here. We're going to get a three-wave structure. What we are seeing here on US dollar yen, as much as we wanted to see this continue to the upside, this is not supporting that. We are at the top here and it looks like we're about to drop here. So we should see US dollars rather US dollar yen come down here. Downside. Euro yen. Similarly, we wanted to see a bit of a push to the upside and a correction. But if you look at that, look at where we are, we should see this make one more down. Chief yen, similarly, one more down. We wanted to see up here and the correction, but it looks like that correction is going to come now. CAD. We've got an impulsive move. Let's see what we're going to get here with this corrective structure. That's where we're going to look to get an entry. New Zealand yen. Also an impulsive move. As much as this is pulling back, this has resetted, but this could drop below here. If it drops below, we're going to see a deeper correction or a retest of the lows. Audi yen. So this is a confirmation that New Zealand will also follow this. We are at the top here, we are dropping below, so we are going to see this retest the blue box. So pull back on the yen pes. Right. So with that pullback on the yen pes, let's have a look at gold. Right now, looking at gold, if the yen pairs are showing downside, we are going to see that upside on gold, even if that upside is going to be short term. And then downside. So we're going to see a bit of a push to the upside because the yen pairs are dropping. We're going to see this move here on gold. This will set up for a sell around this level. Silver, still setting up for continuation to the downside. Still looking for more downside. Platinum, on the daily, still more downside here. At least, like we said, to around these levels at 1,000. At least 1,000 on platinum. We're still seeing continuation to the downside there. Let's go back to the 4-hour. Brent crude. So Brent crude, after the 3-wave pullback, look out for a corrective structure at current levels. And then upside. Pound CAD. It's a pulsing move, correction. Could come up to about 61% before continuation to the downside. So that is pound CAD, euro CAD. I want to just jump onto EuroCAD so I can do PoundCAD and EuroCAD at the same time. EuroCAD is still looking more downside. We want to get a bit of a deeper correction than that. We may still get it deeper than that, and before it drops. We won't drop that obviously that easily. It can actually drop here. Let's have a look at the 1 hour. The 4 hour has got a setup. So this is the 4 hour setup. You just want to see this candle closing below the flag here. Then this would continue to the downside. I want to see if there's a better setup on the 1 hour, because the 4 hour structure does not look so pretty. So 1 hour is much better. As you can see, we've got a move up here. We've got a clear 3-wave structure on the 1 hour, where you can even take it right now at this level. Okay, so at that level you can take the trade at this level, because that looks like a blue box in the lower degree. But I would prefer you wait for the 1 hour to close here, then you take the trade. You still have a tighter stop here. You still have a tighter stop at about 148.60. That's EuroCAD, Pound Audi. Pound Audi, nothing has changed as per analysis yesterday. This will continue to the upside. As slow as it is crawling to the upside, it is looking more upside. And Pound New Zealand, as we said, just because Pound Audi is bullish, Pound New Zealand should also follow suit. So we'll see Pound New Zealand continue to the upside. Pound Chief, yesterday we just go check yesterday's view and why we want to see a possible move to the upside on Pound Chief. Bigger structure on Pound Chief. Look at the Pound Chief analysis yesterday. I went into a bit more detail than this. So we could be getting this as a 3 waves up, 3 waves down, and we get another 3 waves to the upside. This is giving us a setup for more upside. Euro Pound continues to the downside. Could bounce and continue to the downside like that. Wait for that confirmation. Euro New Zealand. New Zealand, not a clear structure, still a messy structure. We'd rather stay away from this for now. Euro Audi. Euro Audi was our chart of the week, looking for this to pull back and continue to the downside. Looks like that view will be invalidated. If you look at this now, this is now broken above this correction and we're looking for more upside. And if you look at what is happening with Pound Audi, this is likely to continue to push to the upside. EuroCAD, we've already gone through that. Euro Chief, we're still looking for this to bounce here. That will be a continuation to the downside. Audi New Zealand showed why we're expecting this to continue to the downside. Any pullback on this, look to sell it up until 1.02. You can check the detail on this here from yesterday. Audi CAD, downside. Nothing has changed from yesterday. Audi Chief, downside. New Zealand CAD, downside as well. So just have a look at that. So all you're waiting for on the crosses, there are a lot of opportunities with these 4 hour setups for more downside. So all of them from here, this is all bearish. Actually, all bearish except CAD Chief. We'll come to CAD Chief just now. New Zealand CAD, look for more downside. New Zealand Chief, more downside. So all playing out as per analysis yesterday. Then CAD Chief has got the CAD in it. So only this one is bullish because this is correlated to oil. So we will look for this to continue to the upside. The indices, no change on the indices as per analysis yesterday. Continuation to the upside, look for 1 hour corrections to the upside. Dow Jones, as you can see, nothing has changed from yesterday. Let's wait for more data on the indices. There hasn't been much between now and yesterday. Nasdaq, continues to push to the upside. Any change on the UK, we're just looking for a setup here for continuation to the upside. The DAX trade setup, chart of the week last week from here, we're already here. Now we're looking for continuation to the upside. Nikkei, more downside before a push to the upside. And the Nifty has made a running flat. We're looking for the Nifty to continue to push to the upside. Okay, so that's all for today. We've already gone through the cryptocurrencies. You can check them out on the video. If you came in late, it will be up in the next 15 minutes. Have a great day. Don't forget to check out the live technical analysis this afternoon. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow. Cheers. Bye-bye.